Hey guys, what's up? So, I was following some news in regards to the upcoming TV series Alien Earth, and I just read something interesting. The biggest complaint for me in this upcoming TV series is about the fact that it's supposedly set before the first Alien movie, and I just don't like this setting at all. Like, I don't like the idea of humans encountering aliens like many times before the events in the first movie. I like the first movie being like this first contact scenario. That was something that I always thought it was great. And well, I know that the AV movies kind of went against it, and I mean that was like one of the main reasons a lot of fans complained about it. But well, let's just read about this because I only read the title so far. I think we exist somewhere around aliens. Noah Halley reveals surprisingly timeline placement. This is actually good. I really like the idea of the series like entries being set after Alien 3. Mainly, like that's like the main period, which I think is like great for future content, which a lot of novels, games, comics are all set up. Like my favorite games, AVP2, AVP Classic. I mean, AVP Classic is not really like it's more like a what if scenario if the planet if the directly from the first Alien movie wasn't destroying aliens, but anyway, like I mean, AVP 2, AVP 2010, the AVP extinction probably has. I mean, there are so many nice entries that are set after Alien 3, so I think that like that's already a good point for a lot of the storylines to be set up. Alien Earth, the first television series in the Alien franchise, being released in less than a month from now, a lot of fans are excited to find out how this entry will fit into the Alien timeline. In a recent interview with Collider, the project visionary Noah Hawley has revealed additional details that will surely inspire further discussions. I think we exist somewhere around aliens. I mean, when he says aliens, does he mean like probably like the same time or just after? Because I kind of like it after. I like that like the first Alien movie happened, and then you have Alien Isolation, which was good. I mean, I at first I didn't like the idea of a story set between Alien and aliens. I like that like we have Aliens, Alien 3 happened, and then after like a couple decades, the aliens started like popping out in more planets, and like the knowledge about them was spread out. That was like always like the kind of timeline that I kind of enjoyed, like seeing being fit for the Alien franchise. But then they came out Alien Isolation, Alien Romulus, which are set between Alien and Aliens. Which I mean, Alien Isolation was great, so like it was such a good game that I kind of like didn't care much. But I mean, Romulus, I'm like mixed about it. I think that it could have been easily set up after Alien 3. But then again, the whole storyline is about like I mean, they got the alien from the first movie back, so it would have to be set closer to Alien than Aliens. But well, okay. I I haven't had to get crazy specific with it, but the events of the first film are referenced in the show at some point. Really? Because it was such an isolated thing. What happened in the first Alien movie with Ripley, it was something that most, even within the Tony, only a few uh, people in the company even knew about it because it blew up. Like the Nostromo never came back. And in Isolation, from what we saw in Isolation, from what we saw in Aliens, knowledge about it was like lost over time. And I mean, Romulus, they're like this faction within Wayland Yutani which seems to know about it, and they got the alien back. But I mean, I think that overall, like, it was such an isolated thing. I think it's somewhere around the events of the second film. Does it like mean that it's like at the same time, at the same year? Because like it's like while the aliens, while Ripley is going back to LV-426, and while that is happening on Earth, this is happening as well. Because I mean, Ripley was in Aliens in Earth, close to Earth. She was in the Gateway station, which is right next to Earth. You know. So I don't know. Like I mean, this could be set after. Yeah, why did it before or just after? I mean, just after. I mean, I don't know. I think that Alien 3 is set up like maybe like some months after Aliens, something like that. So while Ripley was between Aliens and Alien 3, this stuff in this series happened. Like I don't like the idea of like aliens on Earth, especially before what happened in Alien 3, because we're talking about Ripley sacrificing herself to prevent the alien from getting to Earth, and then we're like, oh, but the aliens got to Earth anyway through other means, so who cares about Ripley's sacrifice, you know? Collider has further clarified in the grand scheme of things. The very live-action episodic iteration of the story will come towards the end of the timeline as we know it. What would be the end of the timeline? Alien Resurrection? Because that's like the further, or maybe they're ignoring that. Because Holly doesn't give a definitive before or after answer to Alien Earth connection to aliens. It's unclear whether Alien Romulus would be before, after, or perhaps even during the events of the FX show. I mean, it feels like it's going to be set between Alien and Aliens, like same thing with Romulus. What we do know is that everything that happened in Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and Alien came before, with Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection following. Okay, so this is definitely before Alien 3, which is like, I mean, I think Alien 3 is around the same year as Aliens, but I'm not sure. While the two Predator crossover films are kinda of doing their own thing, yeah, they're not considering, as I imagine. The interesting part of this is that it seemingly contradicts previous two statements we have gotten from Haley that were already covered. In May, we reported on an interview we had with AV Club. After 7 years now, it's kind of busy highway on some level timeline wise. It felt like the way to give myself the most leeway has a storyline was to take myself out of the traffic and put myself in a standalone place in which I could explore the mythology of Earth and humanity in this franchise. The aspect has been underserved in the films, with questions like what is government on Earth like? I mean, it's an alien franchise. We care more about the aliens than human politics, but okay, I get it. Do we get along or we have solved our problems? I doubt that, considering if you have seen from companies like Wayland Yutani. We know various corporations have succeeded, but that standalone plot allowing me to tell my story. Here I think it's the main character. Previously, such a comedy could be confusing if we compare it to the official date of the show that is being advertised. It has 2120, which is considerably crowned by entries, whereas there is a normal gap of years between Aliens plus Alien 3. Yeah, because they are set up in 2179 and Alien Resurrection. I mean, we have 200 years between Alien 3 and Resurrection. Why not make all these storylines there? No, that's what they did back then. It worked well. AVP2, AVP 2010, like those storylines. I mean, a lot of the Alien novels were all set up there around that time, and it worked well. One possible train of thought was if the Scott prequels weren't considered as part of his continuity, then the timeline before Aliens is a clean slate to him. Really? Though that would be a stretch since Scott is a producer on the show himself. With the newest information we have now, does this mean that Noah is actually utilizing that gap between the last two films of the original quadrilogy? Would that make the advertiser year of the series taking place in 2120 has something that just haven't been updated? Maybe they don't know. Like I always thought that people making the entries, like the movies, everything about they appear to be lost. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't seem to be like very sure on how they're like setting up the timeline. They just keep retconning stuff. Like I mean, he had one idea on Prometheus, then he retconned it in Covenant, and then he just went back to it. And like sometimes it feels like the people doing these movies have no idea what they're doing. Another aspect that is in favor of Haley's latest comment being the most accurate one is the appearance of classic M41A pulse rifles in smart gun variants in details. Yeah, that's from Aliens. As well as the advancement in synthetic technology. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the human mind transferring to synthetics, so that's all in the trailer. It feels like just like something more advanced from what we saw in the first Alien movie that shouldn't like further away after Alien 3. With the addition of cyborgs and the new hybrids, there will be a major focus of the story. Also, the constant hints at the possibility of Earth actually being taken over by the alien would have made much more sense in the post-Aliens and Alien 3 world. Yeah, yeah. Keeping the integrity of the Scott prequels intact. I think that those Scott prequels just went to shit. I don't think we're getting the third one. On the other hand, the AV Club comments would just be easily mean that he hasn't picked a specific time. Yeah, I don't think they know what they're doing here. But that he actually just decided to make a standalone universe alternate timeline. That is just one possibility. Another recent interview Haley had with Vanity Fair that we covered at the start of Julie had this to say. If Alien Earth is a hit, Haley sees a day, perhaps several seasons down the road, when this show might even merge with its source material. I don't yet know, in terms of the series from beginning to end, how much time is going to pass or where we're going to end up, he says. But I do know that at a certain point, the Wellington Corporation is going to diverge the Nostromo to that planet. No, this make it feel like it's before Alien. I mean, it's not such a big deal. I mean, Wayland Yutani, they got the transmission from the planet, from the derelict ship, and then they're like, oh, no, then that ship Nostromo is gonna pass close to it. I just like make them go get it, go check that out. I mean, I don't think they really had much planned ahead. I mean, they tried to make it such a big deal. But I think that when Tani just was interested in like the message. Oh, it looks like there's an interesting alien creature there. Let's try to see if we can get it by using these expendable workers. Here, if it seems like this series will eventually lead into the events of the first film, which is very different from the latest Collider interview. I'm really confused. This is actually making me confused. I mean, if the events in the series lead to Wayne Dutani making the Nostromo go to that planet, I mean, so it makes it seems like, oh, they met the aliens before, so that's why they send Nostromo there. But why would they know that specifically in that planet they would find the same alien creature, which they're gonna be meeting on Earth in this series? I mean, I don't know. Like, I still, so where did the 2120 date come from? If it is if official source, then someone had messed it up big time, which I'm not surprised at, honestly. 2020 is literally plastered over the first trailer. What are they talking about? Does he just not know when the movies take place? I don't think they do. I think these people here are really not very good at their job. But, well, anyway, it looks like our upcoming Alien TV series might be full of surprises.